So Andrew, preseason is done. There's a lot to catch up on. I've been told by Todd I have to keep this short, but we'll work through a few of them. First of all, just your impressions on how training camp, the preseason has gone. Obviously, there are going to be teething problems. There are going to be things that you continue to want to iron out. But what's the vibe? The first month of the Devils group being together.
Been loving it, to be honest. It's maybe my most enjoyable training camp so far. Just a really good group, a group that's come in every day to work, but they don't treat it like work. They love it. It's what they want to do. We're having a lot of fun because of that. I think we're improving at a quick or a fast rate, which is fun for me. They're retaining information, and it's going well. It's going well. We're chipping away. It's a process, obviously. We're on week 4 here. That's not all that much time when you think about it. But I'm really happy with our progression. I think not only have we been improving with some things that we're working on, but then they're staying there as we're going along, if that makes sense. Sometimes you add in something else and then you forget something from a week ago, but for the most part, we've been growing, and that's really exciting news.
Fans care about results, I suppose. Todd selling tickets care about results. For a coach, just interested in terms of preseason, is it level of performance? Is it learning those systems? Does the result matter to you?
I think in the moment it does, just because I'm a competitor and I hate to lose. So I think in the moment, yeah, but you have to be very careful, because you can't throw everything we're throwing at the guys and trying to implement stuff and then get on them too much about that. Especially the more skilled players, it's a natural game. You can't be out there, overthinking or whatnot. So when it's week 2 and we're implementing stuff the day before, or even the day of the game, it's not ideal. It needs to be done. But now, even this week, things are way more ingrained. It looks like it's more natural. I think that's very exciting. And to get back to your answer or question, not really at the end of the day. Pretty much no. I think you gotta work on what you need to work on and focus on that. And then the other aspect of it is, from a coaching standpoint, when you have a veteran team, it's they're all competitors and they want to win, but we're playing 85 games, and I think there's something deeply ingrained in veteran hockey players that it's just tough to get that little extra 5-10% of physicality, or whatever you want to call it. I think tomorrow night will be a much different story.
Clearing up a little bit of housekeeping that we've had during preseason, you named a new captain, the guy who's been the best player in the league for some time now. So it'd be wrong of me to suggest it was next guy up. Obviously, that's not the case. But what was your thinking behind Joey Martin taking on that role?
Yeah, to be totally honest, he was in the mix when we picked Mo. I guess that was a while ago now. He wasn't quite there, though. He was a little bit younger. Puts a lot of pressure on himself already. To see his development as a person, a player, it's been incredible, and I think that it's given me a ton of satisfaction, not only because I think he's a good friend of mine, but just a working relationship's been awesome. And that's another, one of those guys you come to the rink for. I think right now it's a total natural choice. Really, gave other people some consideration, but really I think deep down, myself and everyone around here knew that he was the guy. And you could say it's because of his play. It's not because of him scoring goals or that kind of stuff. It's because of his details, because of his work rate, his commitment to getting better every day, how much he cares, all the stuff he does, behind the scenes, just being a great teammate, doing stuff for guys that are going through stuff. And he's a great leader. He's another, Jake Morissette in his own right. And I think I've been very lucky to have Mo and now Marty take the reins.
I know you've got a lot of veteran leaders in that locker room. Have you decided upon the leadership group around him? I saw Haddad wear an A in preseason.
Yeah.
Obviously Richardson. Have you got thoughts of who's going to fulfill those roles?
So we actually decided it this morning. So we didn't talk about that yet, but I like the first month when it's a new group and there's some new players with potential leadership. I thought Myra Mackey, I'll get that right one of these days, and Riley, we're really right in the mix. I wanted to take a look at them. I think there was 6, 7, 8 guys from the returning group that were possibilities, and we wanted to mix it around. And whether they wear an A or not, I think there's a lot of guys that can lead. We've decided to go with Mark Richardson as a A, home and away. Blair Riley's going to wear an A, home and away. And then Joey Haddad's going to wear an A at home, and Matthew Myers is going to wear an A on the road. So I think it's a great setup for us, well-rounded. I think it'll work really good.
Always nice to have an exclusive. So again, nuts and bolts of looking at games. The results don't necessarily matter, but I always talk to you. I'm an armchair coach, not very good at it, but I like looking at the line combinations. What's interesting for me at the moment is, and I know you hate it when I pigeonhole lines, but that McNamee-Dixon dynamic. McNamee maybe playing higher up than some fans thought, and Dixon doing a great role as perhaps the guy on the energy line. What are your thoughts at the moment about line combinations, and how fluid are they at the moment?
I think it's been a bit of a mess, to be honest, because we've had multiple injuries kind of in camp, some niggles here and there, and we only really had the one game on Sunday where we had the full lineup. So that's been unfortunate, but in a way, maybe it's been a good thing. It's made us juggle even more. Even in game, we've only had sometimes 11 forwards, so it's, we've had to mix and match and double guys back and just roll at times as well. So there's been a ton of combinations. There's a lot of thought in my head of going back to Dixon and Linglet. I think McNamee with Linglet is an exciting dynamic there, the two of them playing catch and using their speed, and I think that really came out on Sunday, which was fun. Dixie can play anywhere. It's nice. I thought maybe him and Margie could link up there, knowing each other a little, playing a similar style. Playing with some energy, getting on the forecheck, like you say, playing down below the tops of the circles. Bit of a thought there. I thought it's looked good. Also from a penalty kill perspective, potentially. Again, I think there's going to be a lot of movement here in the next month to keep figuring things out. And we'll see from there. I think the nice thing about having a big returning group is a lot of the guys are already comfortable with each other, and I think it is fairly seamless. It's just, now that things are more settled system-wise, try and get a bit more chemistry going.
And I want to ask you about the defensive core, a couple of new arrivals there. I've seen some concerns expressed on social media. I actually like the balance. I like the left-right shots. And Jardine's come in, and I know this is something you like. It seems to me he's got very good stick detail, long stick, and get it in passing lanes. How do you like the balance of your defensive core so far?
Yeah, concern, I guess that's, I don't know. Fans can do that if they want. Pretty early in preseason, again, when we're giving them a lot of stuff and they're new, and they've just flown in a couple weeks ago. But I really like our D-core. I think 3 left, 3 right is big. I like the dynamic on each. I think it works well. We know Forens and Rich, you don't need to talk about those two that much. I think McMonagle and Lewis is a nice little dynamic. I think McMonagle's going to make a lot of plays for us. Already seeing it on the breakout and the regroups. And I think Lewis is a nice compliment there. I think he's come back and he looks, very solid to me. I feel like he's reading the game very, very well right now. Excited for that. And I think Jardine and Reddick's a nice mix as well. I think Jardine, like you said, good stick, moves very well for a pretty big body. And I think the two of them can kind of do a bit of everything, to be honest, and it's just finding that balance between the two. I think Jardine, coming from the North American ice, the small rink's going to take a little bit of time. I think the systems are a lot different than he's used to as well, so that takes some time. But I know what I was getting, and there's been no real surprises at all. I think he's a total professional. He's going to keep working away, getting better, and I think he's had some real solid performances as well. Obviously, there's some, plays. He missed stripping a play there and they score, so things like that can be, I guess, negative highlights. But if you look at more of the finer details, I think there's a ton of positives.
Last bit of, I guess, assessment of preseason before looking ahead. Special teams have always been crucial to you as a coach. The Devils have excelled in them. The power play has looked good without perhaps turning over as much as you might want. Penalty kill, you lost a key guy in Jake Morissette. You've been auditioning some guys for roles. looked good for the most part, caught out a little bit this weekend, particularly on that bumper play with the guy going into soft areas.
Yeah.
What's your thought on the special teams?
I think we're pretty good. I think we have an abundance of PK forward killers, which is nice, really nice. You can keep a lot of guys involved. Good for the energy levels. A lot of guys are going to work that understand the role, that have played the role before. I think we have enough D that can do it as well. I think Josh Batch we can bring back if need be. I think it's a real nice balance there. Again, learning the systems. The PK is funny. You're a foot off here or there, like the goal you just described. The positioning was literally 2 feet off by one guy, a foot off by another guy, and it's in the back of your net against a good, skilled team. Keep working at it. For the most part, we've had great special teams here for a long time, so we'll just keep doing what we do. And power play, not overly surprised. Hadn't worked on it much at all up until last week, a little bit, and then a lot more this week. In the CHL, not all that many power plays typically. So, you got to pick and choose what you're working on. We have more than enough guys to do a great job there, and I'm excited, going forward.
So you lead us on to the CHL. We always talk about this great experience. You referenced earlier you're a competitor, Todd's a competitor, everyone at this club is a competitor. How important is it now not just to make up the numbers and participate, but for you to get some big results in this competition?
I don't know how important it is for, it doesn't affect the league or anything like that. I think out of pride and what we're about here, I think we're dying for it. I know I've done anything and everything I possibly can to prepare us and to help the guys, and I know the guys have done the same. They've worked so hard. I think now it's about going out and going at it and seeing what we can do, and really just playing with confidence and playing with some energy and some jam, and let the chips fall where they may. I think we got to enjoy it too. It's such a great experience. But yeah, it's a lot different than 3 years ago when we got in there and didn't really know what was going on. We would love to have some results. I've heard a ton about Nottingham beating Mountfield a few years ago. I think those were exceptional results. I've been watching Mountfield. I've been talking to a lot of people. They look phenomenal right now. They're a fast, hungry, energetic team. I think it'll be really fun for the fans to watch. I think it'll be really good for us to play against. They're a great team. We're going to have to do an unbelievable job to come away with a result there. Is it possible? Yes. They are a very good team, though. Graz, same thing. They got some high-end talent with a couple of their guys. Snetzinger, the D-man. I think it's Yellowhorn up front, very good, well coached. So tough tests. We're prepared. We're going to go at it. I just really want tomorrow night, I want the place rocking. I want to have a great atmosphere. You think back to a couple of the wins we've had here. It can be a ton of fun.
2 mind-your-own-business questions just to finish. With the CHL, for you personally, does it help raise your profile?
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, I'd love to win the whole thing, absolutely. Maybe I'll be gone by Christmas so you don't have to deal with me anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But would it help me? Potentially. Would it help some of our players? For sure. I think the fun thing now is our league's gotten so much better that even just through normal league play and having results in that, there's going to be some notoriety. And yeah, I'm pumped up. It's a lot of work to get the team together, to get everything to this point. I'm looking forward to having some fun tomorrow night.
And my final one, and this might be a no comment, but it is the big debate amongst fans at the moment, so I will put it to you. Are the Devils still in the market? Are the Devils looking, or have the files gone away for the summer?
We're always looking, absolutely. I don't want to give too much away. We're always looking, always analyzing. We really like our team right now. We're going to have to see sort of what goes on. It's always a juggling act. It's, as much as everyone likes to think we're not the New York Yankees, it's still a minor pro hockey league. We have to be sensible. So there's a juggling act there. We got great support from our owners, from Todd. We got a great thing going, and I think I want to get more positive and upbeat about the team we have right now. I think we have a great group.
I think you've got a great group as well. We look forward to seeing them in competitive action this weekend. As ever, Andrew, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, buddy.